Ladies and gentlemen, Casiño Rivera, and karon Tagalog tayo today, sir, kasi taga Manila ang guest natin, and we're very happy and we're very delighted to have with us one of the top people in fashion and arts and culture and heritage. And later on, I will introduce our guest, sir. In the meantime, welcome, Attorney Oka.
Yeah, Sel, good afternoon and good afternoon, everybody. Maing hapon and it's another day and today is Thursday and another episode of Overtime. And wow, ang atong guesting is very, very varied and I would add with a high sense of pride, uh, high high end, no? And mga nag-excel in their respective fields, no? And this afternoon we will talk about fashion, arts, culture, and including LGBTQ
Yes,
and other issues that pertain to equality and gender sensitivity.
yes.
So, good afternoon, everyone. And without further ado, may I ask Maricel to take the pride of introducing our very special guest.
Yes, thank you very much, Attorney Oka. And this afternoon, we are joined by a fashion director, and he's also the host of the live streaming of Absolutely Fab and the host of the Filipino World live stream. And he's also a board member of the executive committee of Binibining Pilipinas. And he's been in the fashion industry for 25 years and 2 years already live streaming Halo Halo Station. And his father was a former press secretary
Yeah.
of the then former President Fidel Ramos, Hector Villanueva. And his mother is Lynn Andrada Villanueva from Mati, Davao Oriental. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Raymond, Director Raymond Villanueva. Sir,
Hi.
maayong hapon. Welcome to Overtime.
Maayong hapon. Good afternoon, everyone in Cagayan de Oro. We are live here in Manila. Good afternoon, Atty. Oka and Maricel. It's nice to be here. And overtime.
Yeah, thank you, Director Raymond, for
Yes,
accepting our invitation. We are very, very honored, and I know that you have a very, very tight schedule every day, 24/7, no? And sparing some of your time sa atong program overtime, indeed is our honor, and we thank you very much. Now,
pleasure.
of course, I think having known your father
Yeah.
for quite some time, dahil his father was press secretary of the late President Fidel Valdez Ramos, and at that time, wala pa yung ang spokesman and press secretary. These offices were held by one person, no? And so must have been very, very challenging and very, very difficult for him to have served as press secretary and spokesman of President Ramos. Alas 4, gising na yon. Nagbabasa na ng newspaper. And every day he would send all this with his marginal notes to everybody.
That's so
And
true.
siyempre, ang center of, ang clearinghouse niyan would be Press Secretary Hector Villanueva. Kaya he must have been extraordinary in his job, no? So, kumusta? First question siguro, Raymond.
Yes, po.
Kumusta ang dad mo?
He is so okay. He's been working for the longest time from from FER's time to GMA's time. He's a
Yeah.
writer. He's an opinion writer for the Bulletin Today.
Yeah.
But he's enjoying his retirement. I think that's the most important right now. And my dad, we're close. We're very close because we're the only one that live together. My siblings have lives in Canada, in Dumaguete. So kaming dalawa lang talaga. And like I mentioned, he sends his warm regards po kay Atty. Oka. And thank you for having me also in
Salamat
the
po.
show.
Salamat po, Director
Salamat.
Raymond. Now, let's talk business now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I read your the write-up prepared by our staff, no? And you have a very impressive array of advocacies. Ang
Yes.
dami. And ito mga ano pa, no? Yung napaka-sensitive, culture, arts, fashion, LGBTQ, and many more, no? And pati yung advocacy mo sa SOGI
Yeah.
Mhm.
bill, sexual orientation and gender identity or expression bill. I'm sure ano ka rin doon sa mga Safe Spaces Act,
Of course.
yung sexual harassment, yung
Yeah.
VAUSI, and so on and so forth, no? Now, siguro, if I may ask you, with your permission, ano ba ang top three advocacies mo, Director Raymond?
Well, actually last week I was also being interviewed, and that was the same question. For me right now, in this new normal we call post-pandemic, it is still for me arts, culture, and fashion. Because that for me is very close to my heart. I'm a Filipino fashion director for the last 25 years. And I have adhered always to the fact that we must buy local and we must buy Filipino. So, nag-start po ako sa fashion director, like I mentioned, almost 25 years ago. I have worked with practically every design. I've done shows actually in Cagayan de Oro as recent as 5 years ago with local designers like Hilma Kaibay, Nimi Pimentel. In fact, I did a fashion school in Cagayan de Oro called the Fashion Institute there in Cagayan de Oro. We launched that. So very close po yan sa akin. And recently, we also have this group called the Philippine Heritage Society, headed by a group of individuals, both from the arts world, the fashion world, and culture world, that's advocating talaga na we have to buy Filipino and buy local na yun. Kasi po, noong pandemic, hindi tayo makatravel, hindi tayo makalabas ng mga bahay natin. So anong gagawin natin? Kailangan talaga bumili ng Pilipino. Filipino goods, Filipino food, lahat. Lahat sa atin. So, importante, ang gagawin natin na yon para we sustain ourselves is until now, we have to buy Filipino. Yan para sa akin pa rin ang importante. And then, of course, ang nangyayari po natin na yon is we need to do jobs. I mentioned that when I was being interviewed with Maricel, ang medyo nahirapan kami na yon is in the live events industry. Kasi almost 500,000 people lost their jobs. And until now, we're recuperating pa on how to do live events. Pero, ngayon, nagiging hybrid na po tayo. Both live events and streaming. So, sa totoo lang, ang rami talaga nangyayari sa buhay ko na yun. And I just want to share all of this with all our viewers here in Cagayan de Oro and all over the Philippines.
Yeah, and we know na you have this live streaming program, no? And wow, congratulations, Director Raymond. Would you like to talk about your live
Ay,
streaming program?
Opo. It really, that cuento is one thing that's for the books. I have not been a fan of social media. I have never been to Facebook. I don't even have Wi-Fi in my house pre-pandemic. That was March 15, 2020. Wala akong Facebook, wala akong Wi-Fi. I did not believe in social media. Kasi ang feeling ko during that time, I'm okay already with my career. Then on March 15, 2020, everything disappeared. Wala talaga nangyari sa atin. So, when I had no job, by the time June came in, from March to June, okay pa rin ako. Pero June, July, August, ayan na, lumalabas na, naku, kailangan ko ng trabaho. So, a group of people from the live events asked me to do live streaming. Sabi ko, ano yung live streaming? Eh, wala nga akong Facebook live streaming pa. Tapos, they said, kailangan tayo mag-Zoom. So, they asked me, they asked all the directors in the Philippines. Atty. Oka, Maricel, we're talking about stage, theater, movies, lahat sila, they went together. So, I represented fashion. Me and another fashion director. Eh, wala na nga akong alam. Sir Oka, I don't even know what Wi-Fi is because I never, in my career, I didn't need Facebook. I didn't need social media. I felt that I was okay na. Tapos, ayan na, sinabi nila, oh, ayun, ano gagawin mo na yon? Kailangan natin mag-Zoom. Sabi ko, ano po yung Zoom? Naku, gumawa ka ng sarili mong account. So, when I did that, I still didn't believe in Facebook. I never believed in Facebook kasi yung trabaho ko, we didn't need Facebook. Ang kailangan lang natin, word of mouth. Word of mouth lang, okay na kami doon eh. Pero na yon, during the pandemic, 2020, kailangan namin mag-Facebook. So, I'm happy to tell everyone, 2 years lang ako na yon on Facebook. That's for that live stream. One of the participants asked me if I wanted to do live streaming. And on October of 2020, with a Facebook account and a live stream under Halo Halo Station, which is run by Sonia Rocco, the wife of former Senator Raul Rocco, we came up with a live streaming called Absolutely Fab. The reason it's called Absolutely Fab, kasi lahat ng tao pupunta sa akin sasabihin, ay, fabulous ka. So, it was almost my life. And lahat ng bisita ko, all my guests, were always the people who helped me in my career for the past 25 years. So, a lot ng guests ko were the people that helped me. Kasi sila po ang kaibigan ko. And I'm happy to announce that we're on our 5th season already. We're premiering next month. 5th season na kami. At medyo na-monetize na kami ng Facebook. Maraming gusto. In fact, I've guested some personalities from Cagayan de Oro. I've already featured Mag Square of Mag's clothing line. And so they were featured. Agnes Ali from the Filipinos World also. And so na yun, dito na lang tayo. Kasi in the end, Atty. Oka, Maricel, social media is the only way to survive. Ay, congratulations sa overtime. Ang ganda yan. Ito nga ang bagong fashion. Ito po ang bagong fashion show. Yung ginagawa po natin na yon. We call this Tumista.
Yan.
Opo, kasi
Diba?
yeah, we did that with a group of Ateneo students under Professor Jalcita. Kung anong damit natin sa harap ng screen, yan ang bagong fashion show. So lahat ng tao na yon in the whole fashion industry in the Philippines, tinitignan kung ano ang suot ng mga personalities sa social media. Wala na fashion show. Wala na pumupunta sa fashion show. Tinitignan nila ang damit ni Atty. Oka at ano ang damit ni Maricel. Yan ang bagong advocacy natin. Kung anong sinusuot natin sa social media. Di ba? Na yun nga, during the elections, ang unang tinitignan, anong sinusuot nila? Yun ba? So that is one of our advocacies is Zoomista. What to wear in front of a Zoom meeting.
Oh, what to wear in front of a Zoom
Yes!
Ayan.
Yeah.
Feeling conscious ng tao.
Tutusin nga naman, no, sa fashion show, merong nanonood but very limited, no?
Very limited po.
Whereas social media, you have the entire world. That
Mutually limited pa rin ang fashion shows na yon kasi the budgets are not yet full up. But you know, I'm surprised in Cagayan de Oro, ha? Ang raming fashion show dyan sa Davao. Yes, ang dami. I'm happy to hear that. Manila.
Fashion Summit.
Oh, you have a fashion summit. Even in Mindanao, they had recently. Manila is still apprehensive to do shows because of our IATF. But marami pa rin. I've been doing, since June 30, maraming events. We don't call them only fashion shows, but events. Maraming events din bumabalik. But we are still under the IATF rules. Kasi
Mm-mm.
Oo, 400 so far ang limit na yon sa Manila.
We recently had our fiesta here in Cagayan de Oro
Yeah.
last August 28, no? And in keeping with the tradition,
Yeah.
which had been suspended though over the last 2 years, no? But ni-revive natin, nagkaroon ng Mindanao Fashion Summit, no?
Yes, I heard.
And your group, your colleagues here, organized it very, very successful,
I was
and the
Casiño.
people responded quite very, very excitedly doon sa initiative ng mga kasamahan mo dito. And talagang nakakaano, no? Kakapagbigay ng shall I say, yung level of confidence ng
Yeah.
ating mga kababayan, especially as we try to live under the new normal that you referred to, no? So, successful yung Mindanao Business Summit. And
Congratulations.
yeah, and kaya yun din, when I heard na ang role mo sa fashion world, sabi ko kay Shine, kinig tayo kay Director Raymond, no?
Thank
And
you.
para ma-share niya sa ating mga kababayan. Marami ngayon, no, Director Raymond, ang nanonood, and especially na gustong makinig sa ano ba ang future ng fashion in the Philippines, say in the next 5, 10 years. Anong tingin mo, Director
Well,
Raymond?
Atty. Oka, one thing now is, and I'm very happy with what happened with the Mindanao Summit Fashion Week, is lahat na yon decentralized na ang fashion. Hindi na talaga siya Manila. And I'm very proud to do that. I was in Baguio recently under the invitation of Mayor Magalong, and everything now is not anymore inclusive. It's so inclusive now to the world. Mindanao, Visayas, the Northern Tribe, everything now, hindi na talaga Maynila. So Manila would just have its core group, but now everybody has it. Doon ako happy. That is the future of Philippine fashion. Hindi na tayo just geared to Manila, but the whole Philippines. And that is my advocacy, is to reach out and make sure that everybody in the whole Philippines is proud of their indigenous material. Yan ang unang-una talaga natin i-prove. From the inaul of Maguindanao to all the materials from the Piña Baclan, yan talaga ang pinapasok namin.
Yes.
And another thing is that fashion is actually our identity with culture. Kasi kung nagbarong Tagalog tayo or wear something Filipino, every time I do a show for the Department of Tourism abroad, they would always ask me, the press, what makes you Filipino? Ang una-una natin, yung identity natin, is what we wear. Diba? The clothes we wear gives us the sense of being Filipino. Whether it's made in the Philippines, basta may made in the Philippines brand, yon ang identity natin as a Filipino. Just like abroad, the made in Italy, made in China, made in the USA is their identity. Ngayon, kailangan natin, like I mentioned a while ago, kasi sa pandemic, hindi na tayo pwede mag-travel. So, ano gagawin natin ngayon? Is to go to the local. Not only the designers, but the brands and pinaka-importante nangyari sa atin ng pandemic, actually, pagkain. Lahat tayo kumain ng leche flan. Kasi lahat tayo, wala tayong ginawa, hindi gumawa ng leche flan. The leche flan has been the staple food of almost every Filipino. Kasi it's the easiest to cook. Diba? Itlog lang yan at sugar. So lahat ng tao kumain ng leche flan.
So, diba, halo-halo.
Ha?
Halo-halo din.
Halo-halo rin. So diba proud tayo ngayon nang nangyayari na we couldn't buy, I had an interview. We couldn't buy Air Jordans. We couldn't buy all the foreign brands. Now we are buying things that really make us comfortable. Plus, isa pang nangyari sa akin, ayaw na natin magbihis. So ang gagawin natin na yun is we have to be comfortable. And what is the most comfortable outfit? Yung 100% cotton na t-shirt. Yun lang. Yung ginagawa ng binibili natin sa Divisoria. Diba? Yan importante. And I feel that that is how we show the world why we are Filipino.
Oo. Yeah, Director Raymond, how would you assess? Dahil siyempre, we cannot avoid, we live in a bigger community of nations, no?
Yeah.
And you mentioned about Philippine identity, which is very ideal, no?
Yeah.
Dahil talagang yan ang projection that every country would
Uh-uh.
want to give, no? Pero how would you assess the future of Philippine fashion again in the near horizon, Director?
We have to really show with the help of different agencies, Department of Tourism, DTI, that we have to do buy local, buy Filipino. In fact, the DTI in Makati's head office, they have a huge branding of go local. That's the only way. We have to change the mindset of the Filipino people. Ano nangyari nung pandemic? Yan ang nangyari nung pandemic. Because we couldn't afford to travel, we couldn't afford to go to the stores, we have to take advantage of that. Na yon, paano yon? Ang mga bata na yon is easily swayed by social media. We really have to have influencers. We have to have people like, aminin natin, like us, telling everybody to buy Filipino and buy local. Kasi kung hindi natin gagawin yan, kailan pa? We used to do that before when everything was Filipino. Plus, isa pang question na sinasabi din sa akin, there is also such thing as fast fashion. Fast fashion is the fashion that it's destroying an industry. This is what you call, yung bibili nyo sa department store, gagamitin nyo isang beses na t-shirt na maong, tapos itatapon. That is actually the one that's destroying worldwide. It's fast fashion. These are the brands na isang gamit mo lang, wala na. It fills up all our garbage cans or all our places. We can't even recycle that. So yan ang kailangan natin i-change. When you buy Filipino, you buy something that will last forever. In fact, when I did an interview, sabi niya, ano ginagamit niyo? Sabi nga ng isang grupo ng estudyante, pangbahay. That itself already means you are not adhering to fast fashion. Hindi mo tinatapon yung mga damit. Diba? Kasi nung time ng nanay at tatay natin, diba, yung mga sapatos ng tatay at nanay natin, binibigay yan from generation to another. Pag tinatanong ko nga yung mga parent, ano yung binibigay nyo sa mga anak nyo? Wala. Walang watches, walang ganito. Kasi we have to do a mindset. Tayo po ang maggagawa ng mindset. That will be the future of Philippine fashion if there are individuals or a community or a mob that will tell people you have to do this. Slight dictatorship lang. Because doon, ang fashion was dictatorship. You know, during the 70s and 80s, it was the brands and the designers who would tell you what color you will wear for the year. So I think we have to go back to that mindset na kailangan natin talaga bumili, di ba? We have to buy Mags, the t-shirt. We have to buy Mags, the clothes. We have to buy all of this brand. Kasi we have to sustain them. Kasi kung hindi, tatapon natin yung mga damit.
Yeah. Sige,
Yeah. Director Raymond, ang Pilipinas, of course, archipelago tayo, no? Tapos,
Yeah.
Regional tayo. Yung culture and arts, regional siya, although similar in a sense, but it can also be diverse.
Yes,
And
very
unique.
diverse.
Kailangan ba natin na i-promote ang culture and arts by region? Like in terms of fashion, perhaps? Kasi kanina nabanggit
Yes.
ko na hindi na siya Manila, no? It's not about
Yes,
Manila
it's so
already.
diverse. That's right.
The fashion industry in the provinces are already developing then as of this time. Yes, Sir Raymond, kailangan ba na i-promote natin yung regional culture and arts and fashion?
Actually, the word that we have to use is heritage. That's why we came up with a group called Philippine Heritage Society. Because when you put heritage, you put it as one. What makes that heritage? It's culture, it's arts, it's music, regardless of what region you come from. You have to be proud of your heritage. Where did you come from? What did you stand for? What is your advocacies? That is your heritage. Pag sinabi mo, I am Filipino, that is the 7,100 islands. So I think it is the heritage that's very important because that brings us all together. The more that we go, because now everything is just put in place because of our heritage. We are Filipino. That's why I have a live stream called Filipinos World. We are Filipinos to the world. And that brings us closer and better relationships with people. Di ba wala na yung taga Bisaya, taga Mindanao, wala nang ganon. We are Filipinos. Heritage brings us all together.
Galing. Sir, lagi itong naitatanong, no? Sa lahat ng mga industries, may mga challenges. Behind the glamour and the glitz, the beauty, the makeup, and the clothes, ano yung mga kwento at the back of all this beauty that we see? Atty. Maricel, I'm very frank, and I think that's the reason why I had that live streaming. It all boils down to money. Fashion is all about money. It's an industry that needs to make money. So if you're glamorous, if you're up there, if you're fabulous, then you have money. So you have to imbibe that industry that you are doing well. You're making money. People are happy. You can never have fashion if you're not making money. It boils down to that. Even for us in the industry, we have actually how do I call this? In a way, it's a social strata. It's a class system in the fashion industry. You're either, for models, we would call them seniors. In Tagalog, señora. If you are a señora, that means you made money and you have success. You're successful. If you're a junior designer or up and coming, you're still about to make money. I've always made mention to that. In the end, you've got to make money. You will only reach your goals if you're making a lot of money. That's it. And sa akin as a director, it's as a director, for everybody who wants to be a fashion director, you have to start from low budget. Hindi ka pwede na you can just charge this amount. Because I've been hearing about that. There are directors na gumawa ng festivals sa ganito, ang taasan ng budget. Walang ganon. You have to pass through, you have to go up the stairs of success. And that is the time when you feel na you're successful, binabayaran ka ng tamang budget. That is the true sense of an industry that I come from. You will always be a senior model, designer, photographer, makeup artist when your budget has reached the senior level. Yeah. It's usually 7 digits. I'm just joking. Oh, joke lang yan, BIR. Grabe naman talaga.
Director, that brings me to the next question.
Yes.
What should an aspiring person do to become or to reach that point?
That point?
Yeah.
I do that in my training because sometimes I do seminars and I train models, beauty queens, politicians. You have to hang out with the right people in divine timing. It is always about divine timing. Because if you look at the history of almost everyone who have made names in this industry, which surprisingly is very few. Like we call them the legends of Philippine fashion. Atty. Oka, there's only 3. There are only 3 legends of Philippine fashion. That is Pitoy Moreno, Ben Farales, and Aureo Alonso.
Yeah.
There are no more other legends. There are only 3. There's only been 2 national artists for fashion. Salvacion Lim and Ramon Valera. What made them and what made some of like in my case, There was a survey on directors. We're like only 7 in the whole Philippines. There was a survey on the top 5 Filipiniana designers. There's only 5. Di ba? Even the best dressed list, there's only 10. So I noticed most of them had, if you ask what made them successful, what made them stay, it was just tenacity. Ang tiyaga nila. 25 years, 30 years, yun lang ang ginawa nila. What made Pitoy successful? Because he made it the whole time. He did not concentrate on anything. What made Bench successful? Diba? These are the products that had tenacity. Andun tayo lagi. So if you want to reach this goal, first you have to reach 25 years. Doing it the same thing all over again. The senior models in the Philippines. Recently, there was a magazine that featured the best models in the Philippines. Would you believe these models, hindi naman sila middle-aged, pero punta na sila doon. The best models in the Philippines were the same models who started during the 80s and the 90s. Would you believe? Alam mo, Atty, the number 1 model in the whole Philippines is very of a certain age already.
Ganun ba?
Yes. So, what made these people successful? It was age. Age lang talaga. Tenacity, senyora, galing. Diba? But yung mga taong dumadaan after 5 years, tapos nag-change na ng career, I don't think they will always make it there. Kasi it's a very small world also of divine timing. Diba? Kailangan mo talaga si Lord na sasabihin, magiging successful ka.
Yeah. Sir,
Marami ka naman sinabi. O sige na nga, yung top models in the Philippines are already middle-aged. Would you believe? You're middle-aged. I'm sure you remember their names when you were very young. Sila pa rin ang model na yun sa Philippines.
yeah, oo, sila pa rin.
Diba?
Yung
Did you
mga
see that?
pangalan.
They just came out in a magazine. Sila pa rin. So I was wondering, have we moved on? They're still the best, and they're of that age already.
Yeah, oo, sila pa rin.
Diba?
Sir, nabanggit niyo po kanina 500,000.
Yes.
Tama ba yung
That's correct. The live events.
500,000 lost their jobs during
Yes.
the pandemic dun sa industry.
Yes, it's
Tapos
called the Live
500,000.
Events Coalition. It's a live industry. March 15, we lost everything. Why? Lahat kami, freelancers. You know, we have no tenure, even me as a director. In fact, there was a survey done during the pandemic. Directors like me are the second to the last to get a job during post-pandemic. Ang mga directors sa pinaka-last. So wala kaming trabaho. I didn't have any job. That's why I had to go to live streaming. I had to become a host. Diba? Because
Yung
wala.
iba, sir, anong option nila?
Okay.
Yung iba,
So,
they're not
this is what
like Raymond Villanueva.
The option was ayuda.
Ayuda.
Ayuda lang ang option nung time na yon. Kasi anong gagawin natin? Ayuda na lang. So, medyo by that time, 2021 came in, wala nang ayuda. So we had to work, di ba? But most, like all the models, I'm telling you, all the models in Manila, they had to have 9-to-5 jobs online. You know, everybody started selling insurance. Everybody started selling online food. So we all them. A lot of the freelancers in production went to food. A lot of them sold leche flan. Me, I was so lucky. Actually, I wasn't that lucky because for almost 4 months, I had no job until a group from Halo Halo Station, Nathan De Leon, Sonia Rocco, Jay Batuon, gave me, they were the ones who believed in me, who thought that I can do this. At ito pa, wala pa akong laptop. Kasi hindi ko naman ginagamit ang laptop. Yung cellphone ko, small time lang. So it was just really helping people. The one thing about the coalition of live event, they had to do other jobs. Kung noon, mag-ilaw ka lang, kailangan mo na yun, gumawa pang sounds. Kung ang what's mo, a production manager, na yun, kailangan mo maging safety officer. So nag-diverse ang mga tao. Ang mga models, naging makeup artists. They became makeup artists. Ang makeup artist, naging photographer. But you know that even the designers in Manila closed their shop and they became artists. They started drawing. Actually, a lot of people found their own passion. Diba? Their own passion already. But slowly we're going back, pero it's a new breed of individuals. A lot of people are doing work that are giving them passion. Kasi hindi ka magiging which is going back to Attorney Oka, kung wala kang passion sa ginagawa mo, you'll never be successful. Kasi makikita yan sa mukha mo eh.
Yeah.
Hard ka.
Makikita sa mga sir, ha?
Diba? Ang mga tao hindi successful, haggard sila. Hindi sila natutulog. Yun lang.
Pero ngayon, Director, na we're going back to
Yes.
normal, no? The new normal. It would seem na nagkakaroon na ng high level of confidence ng ating mga kababayan.
Yes.
And number one, siguro, people have learned to live with the virus, no?
Yes. People are healthy.
Oo.
People are very healthy now. Alam mo, konting, like I just had a show last week, alam mo yung konting init lang, Pinoys will drink paracetamol, drink hot water. There's a mindset. There's a mindset of being healthy. Kasi if you're not healthy, how can you work?
Yeah.
Diba? That's basically it.
Generally, maaga ngayon matulog na ang mga tao.
So yun! Alam mo, attorney, that's why we're successful in live streaming. Kasi lahat ng tao, ayaw na lumabas. Kasi kung lalabas, gastos lang yan. Manood na lang yun ang overtime.
Tama.
Actually, no, I'm sorry, no, but I also said this in an interview last week. It will never go back to normal. Kahit ang rami nating shows na yun. I'll be honest, no, you guys have the Mindanao Summit, the designers are doing shows. There's still that apprehension. I know, even in my events, alam mo, may apprehension pa rin sila na you'll get sick, may COVID, may ganon. So what do? You do hybrid. All the shows, all the events is only for video purposes. So yan ang magyayari. You can do shows without an audience, but ilalabas yan on live streaming.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is the new normal. In fact, almost all the brands is geared for social media. Hindi, I'll be honest, Attorney and Sansel, during the pre-pandemic, kilala lang ako sa Manila. Hindi naman ako kilala sa labas. I mean, I was just there. I wasn't really invited. I just noticed during the pandemic, wherever I go, people will recognize me. People are inviting me more to their events compared to when I was a director. I get invited most. Why? Because they also see me in social media. That's reason. So I don't think we'll go back, and I don't think a lot of people would like to go back to pre-pandemic. Wala na yun. Yung buhay natin noon, na mayabang tayo, kala natin magaling tayo, number one tayo na designer, number one na politician. Wala lang ganon. Hello. Diyos ko, paano magyayari yan? Sabi ng mga tao, ilang views mo? O, mayabang ka. Nanonood sa'yo.
Wala ng views na yon.
Alam mo, so totoo lang, I had a discussion nga eh. Sabi ng isang tao, paano yan? Graduate ako, I'll take my master's, PhD, diplomate. Tapos sasabihin ng mga tao, ilang ang views mo? Ako, hindi ako graduate. Mas marami ang views ko sa'yo. Marami akong trabaho sa'yo. So, it's a mindset lang that we have to.
Yeah. Sir, Miss Mags is watching. Sabi niya,
I got
absolutely fabulous Direct Raymond Villanueva. Miss you.
Thank you so much. I also my friend Alexis Valido is watching here. And Rita De Leon of Halo Halo Station and Jay Batuon is hopefully watching. Somewhere there. And
Laura or Kiko, ayon.
Laura Kiko for the Philippine Heritage Society and the former Dean of Interior Design at the University of Santo Tomas.
Anong sabi mo kanina, sir? Anong tawag doon sa fashion na nakikita natin on social media? By the way, I'm wearing that.
Zomista.
Ano tawag?
Mags.
Mista.
I'm wearing mags now.
Ah.
Miss
Kung
Mags.
Loka.
Baka ikaw nag-text kay Mags,
Uy,
ah.
hindi. Ngayon ko lang nakita. Oo. Si Miss Mags.
We call it Zoomista. It's the fashionista while on Zoom.
Yun pala yun. Oh, di ba? While Zoomista.
Zoomista.
Galing, ah. Ang galing.
Ayan si, alam nyo ba dito sa Cagayan, best dress yan si OSN.
Eh, diba?
Ayaw niya, ayaw.
Ate yan,
Nakakaya daw eh.
diba?
Pero maglagay na rin ako ng flowers.
Bawal talaga. Ako lang talaga may flowers sa buong
Ay, di
Pilipinas.
pwede. Kasi siya lang ang may flowers na. So,
You know, this
kung
flower, actually, I always tell this in my interview. This started kasi when a designer named Tony Galang, we went abroad. Tapos, all of a sudden, he gave me the flower, placed it there. Then it has been my branding. It's actually easier for me to get a visa. It's easier for me to enter places that are highly guarded and security. When they see my flower, the security guard lets me enter. Wala na problema. And it makes people happy. So I have all these designers giving me flowers. Wherever I go, every province, somebody gives me flowers. Sana ayuda, pero flower na lang. Okay na din sa
Ay, baka mahal naman yung flower niyo, sir.
Hindi, libre lahat. Ang dami nagbibigay sa akin. So, I push this with the designers. I help them with because this is really Filipino. You know, a lot of designers make them talaga. May isang designer nga, ginawa ko mga 25 flowers. Tapos after the 24th flowers, naatake sa puso. Tapos namatay na siya pagkatapos.
Eto, nag-chat si Miss Mags.
Yeah.
Direct is our director during the Philippines Best Dressed Fashion Show in Shangri-La.
That's right.
Galing.
Philippines Best Dressed also. 7,100 islands.
Yun. Ayan. Sige. Yes. Sir, let's talk about Soggy Bill. Nakikita ko sa mga profiles mo and advocacies mo, you're very supportive of this bill.
Yeah.
Sir?
Well, you know, Senator Risa Ontiveros, of course, this bill has been pending in the Senate and Congress for the longest time. The Soggy Bill is not just really for the LGBTQ plus community, but it's really an anti-discriminatory act for that. In fact, there was a question asked to me for the gay community. How are you being accepted by your parents or the sibling? And you know, my answer was just like I answered the fashion industry. Sampalin mo ng pera ang mga relatives mo, they'll accept you. But in reality, it is really being successful. And I always tell people also, ang ethics at ang values natin as a person has no labels. Walang labels yan eh. Dapat wala tayong labels eh. Kasi yan ang maganda din itong time ng post-pandemic, na wala na yung label natin. Lalaki, babae, gender fluid, wala na. It is humanity. So I felt that the Soggy Bill just deals with humanity. Whatever you do to your fellow man reflects on what you are.
File ba ngayon yung Soggy Bill?
I think there's two more I don't know what you call that, but readings. Then
Okay. Yeah. Dahil maganda rin naman para walang discrimination and equality talaga, gender equality and in fact ang mga LGUs I know dito sa Cagayan de Oro, meron tayong isang counselor, si Counselor, I think dalawa yan sa previous council, Counselor Girly Balaban, Counselor Inday Dahino, na nag-file sila ng mga measures to help protect all genders para walang discrimination. And maganda ang epekto, no? Including, of course, rights of women and children and, of course, yung LGBTQ. Kaya dapat lang yan, i-continue lang, tuloy-tuloy lang ang advocacy. And hopefully, ang Pilipinas would be among the top countries na talagang maganda ang treatment sa lahat ng tao of all persuasions, creeds, colors, sex, or whatever. No? Merong equality talaga before the eyes of the law. So maganda yung advocacy mo, Director Raymond. Maganda yan. And sana yan, tuloy-tuloy. And i-adapt din sa mga local government units, no? Particularly yung mga malalaking cities para dahil nandiyan ang ang sa cities and ang mga convergence areas where talents abound, no? And maraming LGBTQ na very, very talented. Marami.
But kasi Atty. Maricel, I think discrimination just really comes from fear. You know, it's one thing that we can fight all of these laws and everything, but until the fear is taken away from individuals, it's hard. Like in the fashion industry, I'll be honest. When I was starting, the fear of, I'll be honest, no, of Morena models was quite abundant. So it was the year of the mestizas. Everybody had to be mestiza, mestizo. So there was a certain fear. Just like abroad, when black models came in, they didn't like to accept. Ganun din sa Pilipinas. For the longest time, it was a sea of mestizas. Kahit sa artista. Aminin natin sometimes, kahit sa politics. But nung pumasok na ang Filipino looking and everything, even the designers, before, the designers had to study in Paris, New York, ganon. But now we have very good schools in the Philippines. The fear has to be gotten out. Bakit natatakot ang Pilipino sa kapwang Pilipino? What is that fear that we have to come out with? Kasi na-ingrain natin sa tagal-tagal po natin sa mundo na ito, all of these fears. But the Filipino has so many archetypes. We are islanders. We are wanderers. We are party people. Diba? So those archetypes of the Filipinos, yan ang dapat ilabas natin. Why are we fearing these people when they are happy people? Diba? They're islanders. They're fiesta. So don't fear people. Tayo na ma-mindset natin, natatakot tayo. Bakit natatakot tayo sa kanila? Why are they scared for women to have priorities? Why are men, on the other hand, also feared, and white men can also have the best, di ba? Kasi, di ba, pag sinabi natin, bakit siya naging successful? Kasi mayabang yan eh. Kasi ganito yan. Alisin natin yon sa lahat para pantay-pantay tayo.
Yeah. So, sana tuloy-tuloy na yung mga Director Raymond, no?
Kayo po, you are a major influencer in the Philippines. Attorney, people will listen to you. You know, sa totoo lang, it's really people listening to individuals, speaking the truth. Yan ang importante sa tao na yun.
Ayan.
Yeah. And,
Sir, yung sa fashion natin, at saka sa arts and culture, do you think kailangan na i-emphasize to sa curriculum natin sa mga eskwelahan?
I was also asked that by some teacher. Actually, it's there. It's actually there. It is really also, aminin natin, for the past, even during my time as a director, when we had an influx of outside influence, globalization, thinking big. You know, everybody wants to be big in the world kasi. If I can make it in New York, I can make it anywhere. If we change that mindset and put up to us. In fact, I was in Baguio recently and I spoke to a group of individuals there advocating for Filipino mentality. The Filipino mentality kasi is that I am proud to be Filipino. Yan ang unahin natin. Kasi Pag proud ka maging Pilipino, aminin natin, why is Asia so big in this world? China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam. It's because they were so proud. Tayo, ilang years din natin na medyo nawitsis tayo, maraming mixture ang pumasok sa atin. Itong pandemic nagturo sa atin maging Pilipino. Kasi kumakain.
Yeah, cutting off.
Kailangan bumili ng mags, di ba?
Oo, di ba? Ayan. So, yun leche flan at defining moment for you sa food and fashion during the pandemic kasi kumakain na ng leche flan at saka halo-halo.
Sorry, wala ngang, sorry but we couldn't even go to the fast food, di ba?
Yeah.
Oh. Why are we so proud of Jollibee in London and in New York? Di ba mas proud tayo na pumasok ang Jollibee sa London na yon? At sa... Di ba proud you doon? Why are we proud of our beauty queens? Beauty queens na lang, like our beauty queens, Cindy, from Cagayan de Oro, Brenda, Cinderella. Why are we proud of her? Why are we proud of Manny Pacquiao? Why are we proud of our politicians making it in this world? Kasi they reflect us, they mirror us. Ang success ng taong Pilipino, success din natin.
Yan.
Yeah.
Sir, may nag-hi sa'yo. So fresh direct daw. From Hill Makaibay.
Of course! Yung nakaibay from Cagayan de Oro. He's my friend.
Ayan. So, very active yung fashion groups namin dito sa Cagayan.
Okay?
Ayan. Sige po.
sa Cagayan.
Teka na. Yeah?
He's watching also from Cagayan de Oro. Charles! Si Charles Legaspi, who's also from Cagayan de Oro, one of our best society and contributing editors. And Charles Legaspi is also from Cagayan de Oro.
Dita Sandico, hello. Tapos meron pa Alessandro C. Hi, Tito Raymond, Villanueva.
The fashion industry is watching. I love it.
Ganun ba?
Sira.
Sa fashion industry daw is watching. Alessandro C. Hi to Raymond. Ayun. Ayan. All over the country, sir, mga ilan ang population sa industry? Konti lang, no?
Well, now I know because during the pandemic they won't ever hire me.
Yeah.
Hanggang Manila na lang ako. So, each city right now, when they do beauty pageant, when they do concerts, or when they have local talents. And I always say, please get the local talent. Kahit wala na akong trabaho, okay lang. At least talents are growing. Count lights and sounds, I have to be honest. I have to make cheese business, The lights and sounds that does in, let's say, Surigao, Aguso, all come from Cagayan de Oro.
Yeah, lights and sounds nga industry na ibang industry yun parang yung mga suppliers, sir, no? Nandun kahit ang mga LED wall, mga teka, nawawala si sir.
Nawawala.
Sir, parang nawawala ka, cutting off ka on your from your end,
Can you hear me?
Ayun, ayan, yan.
Yeah.
Okay na tayo. Yes, no, 'di ba? Yung mga suppliers, rin 'yon, apektado din ng pandemic, I'm sure. Ngayon, may mga suppliers ka for sounds and lights and the LED walls, the stage, everything.
Naawa yung mga suppliers pa rin sell kasi the pandemic also taught us how to sell. So, binenta nila yung mga gamit nila to everybody. And now, ang medyo nakakatakot word actually, which I want to concentrate, is manpower. Nawala. So we are retraining again a younger generation. Alam mo yung mga anak-anak?
Yeah. Yes.
Designers. Ang trinitrain namin yung mga anak.
Yeah.
Anak na. So it's a whole, you have to go to school. You have to go back to the basic of training. Kasi how do you become successful? You only become successful through training and hanging out with the beautiful people. Charing.
Tama yun, no? Sir, siguro mga last week or I think few weeks ago, we were also joined here by one of the local fashion designers, si Joshua. Siya, no? Si Joshua, Joshua Gibone. And I learned from him, sabi niya, isa sa concern ngayon, yung mga mananahi, medyo wala na. Is that also true in Manila?
Yes. That is why we are, for all the designers, most of the young designers now are doing cut and sew. They're going to school, literally, and they're making their own clothes. Why? Kasi nga, the seamsters are going. In fact, I'm going to Aklan this weekend to also meet with the mayor there and the group there regarding pinya. We have to do
Pinya.
pinya also. Saying that I was in Baguio a few weeks ago. Why? Kasi the generation now is interested in fast fashion, fast money, fast everything. But we have to do retraining. Kasi kung hindi, ano mangyayari? But if you can't do it on your own, then you yourself, you have to learn. So most of the designers now, the younger generation, sila na ang mananahi. Designer, marunong. Like, for example, my flowers by designer Alexandro C. Mismo ang gagawa ng flower. Hindi yung mananahi. Tita Sandico, who's watching now, makes her own fabrics. Diba? You have to make your own fabric. You can't anymore depend. Like, I cannot depend anymore on my staff. Kasi when I'm in social media, kung nasira ito, sino ang kawawa? Eh tayo. Hindi yung
Yes.
tayo. Ano gagawin natin? Smile. Kahit gusto yung tao.
Tama. Yes. Yes, Attorney Olga.
Yeah.
Parang
Nawawala ka, Director, no?
a little bit.
Medyo,
Ito pa, Holiganga Jonathan, looking fresh, Direct RV.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Those are the young artists. I love the whole wala kayo trabaho.
Parang cutting off ka, sir.
yeah.
Tawa ko. Alec, teacher talk. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay yan. Medyo, lang, choppy, it's, konti. Yan.
To rain.
Yeah.
Oo nga eh. Yes, Attorney.
Yeah, siguro dahil we're almost
Overtime?
running out of time.
Oh, sorry. I'm really sorry.
Ano ang advice mo, Direct, no? Doon sa mga nag-uumpisa pa lang and pero tingin mo may chance.
Yes.
May chance to make it big, no? What advice can you give to that group?
I've been asked also that question to me because I go through my life. I was very lucky that all the people that I met helped me. They all helped me. You know, I met Shine. Diba? I met Shine in Manila. Shine introduced me to Atty. Oka, to Maricel. You have to be open to all the people that you see every day. Huwag ka feeling, wakas na bera, baging totoo ka. Because the people that you meet when you go up are the same people you meet going down. Be nice. Kasi ang success ng tao is not given to you. Success is earned. So, in the meantime, you just meet the people, find out your connections, and do good in what you're doing. Kasi you have to be a master in your craft. Yun lang importante. And you be real, authentic. Kung ano ka, yun. So most of the most successful people, I've met almost everyone in Manila. What made them successful? They had their own tenacity to be what they are forever. Kasi ang success is forever. And if you're not successful, yun na nga lang, you're not successful, kawawa ka naman.
Yeah. Okay. Parang, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Sandali.
do well. Alam mo, pag andyan, like mga beauty queen na lang. Pag sinabi na, yung beauty queen, ganito, ganito. Pag hindi ka pinansin ng judge in 5 seconds, you'll never make it. Pag hindi pinansin yung damit mo in 5 seconds, you'll never make it. So it's really the timing. Timing for your success.
Ayan, ang galing.
Galing,
Napaka-inspiring.
galing.
Kasi nobody wants to hear anymore yung mga study well, do well. Ayaw ng tao. They have to be real. Sabi ng mga tao, naku, hindi yan totoo. So you have to be real when you talk. Walk the talk. Importante.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Sige po.
Yeah, medyo kapos na tayo ng panahon, no? How I wish we have more time and marami pa tayong mapag-usapan, no? Wala pa nga tayo masyado sa heritage, no? Culture and many other topics na ina-advocate mo, no? But hopefully,
Attorney, to my show and Ms. Maricel, we will kasi yung show ko 5 hours.
Ayan.
Show ko 2 hours, nagagalit ang Facebook kasi sa atin siguro 3 hours, 3:30, nagagalit ang Facebook sa akin.
Yan.
Yeah, thank you very
Ang
much,
sarap kausap
Director, no? Regards to your dad, Regards to your dad.
Sa lahat.
Ang galing. Now I know na nagmana ka sa daddy mo. Sa galing. And your dad is very amiable. Ang daming kaibigan. Ang daming kaibigan. Maraming salamat po, Director. Your final words, please.
Yes, I'd like to thank everyone who watched Overtime here at the Overtime Studio in Cagayan de Oro. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. And please watch, coming soon, our 5th season of Absolutely Fab with Raymond Villanueva on their Halo Halo station every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on FB Live. So coming soon yan, everyone. Hindi pwede ako mag-premiere pa kasi medyo busy pa ako. So, wala na akong trabaho. Balik na naman ako sa live streaming. Salamat po!
Salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Attorney Oka.
Yeah. Enjoy kayo istorya si Director Raymond, no? And very much alive.
Yes.
And very much attuned, no? And hindi siya stranger sa Cagayan de Oro.
Yeah.
And dami niyang kaibigan and of course, dami niyang kilala. So, mga igsoon, salamat kayo for this hour, although nag-overtime na ta. Salamat kayo for joining us. Once again, to Director Raymond Villanueva, thank you very much, sir. And best of luck to you and more successes in your endeavors. Sa inyong tanan, dagat salamat and maayong hapon.
Yes, thank you very much, Attorney Oka. And Director Raymond Villanueva, thank you for joining us. Salamat, it was so fun and you're so enjoyable kausap para ang galing, ang galing. And thank you very much again. And sa lahat ng nanonood sa amin, thank you very much. Sa tanan, maayong hapon ka ninyo.
Ayong hapon.
Good afternoon.